CNN Showbiz Today. Dustin Hoffman.
Hi, everybody. His Tootsies are in space boots, and he's up to his neck in microbes. Dustin Hoffman plays a military doctor combating a deadly virus, an outbreak which opens nationwide on Friday. The word is spreading quickly that this medical thriller could become a mega hit. Sherry Sylvester has the chilling details.
It's fatal, it's incurable, and it's contagious. The fictional virus of this film seems unstoppable, but it is up to Dustin Hoffman's character to end the outbreak. It is a biological thriller, but there are real-life counterparts to Hoffman's Dr. Sam Daniels. Their life's work puts them perilously close to death.
There's about 50 of these people in the world that work in these spacesuits all day long. I don't think they get paid more than a science teacher, and their life is at risk, and they are heroes.
Outbreak's cautionary tale comes at a time when headlines detail the horrors of AIDS and flesh-eating bacteria, dangers unique to our time.
We don't realize how different we are than the last generation. They didn't think of the things that our kids think of now. My kids know about AIDS in a very personal way because they have friends at school that have AIDS, and my 7-year-old daughter. It's just a different world.
Hoffman, too, knows kids who deal with matters of life and death. When he is off the set, he visits Camp Good Times, a place for kids with cancer.
Before we visited that camp, we thought that it was going to be one of the most depressing days of our life to have to spend a day with all these kids that don't have limbs, legs, bald heads. But it wasn't true. Kids, first of all, have a whole different feeling about death than adults do. The longer we are around on Earth, the more fearful we are of death.
Are you?
No, I don't think so.
Have you even thought about it?
I don't go a day
young
when I don't think about it. I think about sex and death daily since I can remember. They're like the two constants, you know. And as I get older, a really good bowel movement and a baked potato. I mean, there's like 4 things now that I think about every day.
His work has taken him through many more experiences. Along the way, he has earned 6 Academy Award nominations and 2 Oscars.
Why do you think you like to be other people for a living?
I think we all would love to do it. I think it's a natural fantasy. If we could be another person for a day and we can't do that, it's almost like sex, you know, you're saying to, what was yours like? Not just was it good, but what's it like, you know? And I guess being an actor is getting as close to that as you can.
Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Brad Pitt.
Legends of the Fall is #1 at the box office. The Western epic starring Brad Pitt has earned more than $35 million. And it's also helped earn Pitt the title of Sexiest Man Alive, according to One magazine. Sherry Sylvester has more from Los Angeles.
It is a numbers game, making it to Hollywood from the Ozarks. A long shot to go from being the son of a school counselor and trucking company executive to the newest $6 million man. He is the cover guy du jour, People's Sexiest Man Alive. He's got 2 hot films and an Oscar buzz that won't quit. Brad Pitt beat the odds, but what drives this guy?
That I have no idea. I just loved movies growing up, pretty much. Really did. Started with the drive-ins, you know, sitting on the hood of the car with your family, eating the cold popcorn that your mom made before because it was too expensive there, and on up.
His trip to the top includes numerous TV guest spots. Pitt looked as if he had been plucked from the Mystery Date game board for Dallas in 1987, then Growing Pains. The movies include Thelma and Louise and A River Runs Through It. The image of the actor set in the wilds continues in Legends of the Fall. In real life, he is neither country boy nor city slicker.
I need a little of both. I need a good record store, and I need a good stream.
What do you think Brad Pitt brings to the equation in that character of Tristan?
There's some quality that Brad had that shows somebody who can be quite irresponsible, but at the same time have a real sense of wanting to nurture something.
An extraordinary presence. You know, I mean, not just the ability as an actor, but something that comes from within that's hard to talk about.
His double exposure in Interview with the Vampire and Legends has boosted his asking price to $6 million.
How do you keep a balance between your personal life and your professional life?
I haven't figured it out yet. It's been
Who do you trust most in your life right now?
A couple of good friends, my family.
But even they may be talking Oscar talk these days. Everyone else is, and Pitt's Golden Globe nomination seems to be leading him to Oscar's red carpet.
Listen, I can't say that wouldn't be fun, and I've heard that. I just really don't think in those terms, really.
He does think about the story of an untamed spirit struggling to come to terms with life, love, and passion.
Just a beautiful story to me.
And some believe Brad Pitt's own story may become one of those Hollywood legends. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Tim Robbins.
Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins co-star in a new film based on a short story by the master of horror, Stephen King. It's called The Shawshank Redemption, and while it's not a horror story, the film does look at the frightening realities two men must face together inside of a prison. CNN senior entertainment correspondent Bill Tush takes a look.
Even after a sentence that surely means never seeing freedom again, soft-spoken Andy Duvernay never gives up hope. And in the decades Duvernay spends behind bars, he brings his outlook to others, even though in the course of The Shawshank Redemption, he suffers the unspeakable. Actor Tim Robbins plays Duvernay.
At the heart of all of it is a humiliation and a constant beating down of the spirit. And you can listen to politicians complaining about how prisoners have, such luxurious conditions, and you can buy that until you actually walk into one of these places.
Robbins did walk in, and in preparation for the role, he spent time not only in prison, but that deep, dark space called solitary.
I thought it was necessary just to get a feeling for it. I certainly won't pretend to tell you that I experienced prison life in a real way, because I always knew I was going to get out and go home. But it gave me a feeling for it, and I used my imagination to fill in the blanks.
For Morgan Freeman, the actor who plays Red, this was to mark his third time behind bars, in the movies, that is.
Yeah, I've done three prison movies where I was a prisoner, including this one.
Now, is he different than the other prisoners you've played?
Well, yeah, the first one was Brubaker, and I had a walk-on. And the next one was Attica, and I had a substantial role. But it was about the event. This is about a relationship.
Another star of this film, the abandoned Ohio State Reformatory that doubled as the movie's prison. Was there ever an Andy Duvernay there? Or could he only exist in The Shawshank Redemption? Bill Tush, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Bruce Willis.
Hello, everyone. Police officer John McClane is back on the beat. Well, it's not exactly a beat. McClane is trying to track down a terrorist who is threatening to blow up a good part of New York City. What we're talking about, of course, is Die Hard with a Vengeance. Bill Tush talked with Bruce Willis about how making this film has him eating his own words.
In 1988, the first Die Hard was one of the year's top-grossing summer films, and it made Bruce Willis a bona fide movie star. Come 1990, and Die Hard 2 goes on to be the #2 film at the summer box office. But after that one, the actor who portrayed wisecracking cop John McClane said,
"Oh, no more Die Hards, no way, no story, nothing they can come up with. We've done it all." And so here I am, folks, eating humble pie.
Bruce Willis as McClane is back, and this time out, much like the previous Die Hards, he's in all sorts of scrape.
I think more than ever now, I understand what this Die Hard series is about. It's like building a big amusement park ride.
The latest Die Hard has what they've all had: terrorists and bombings. Except this time, the film is dangerously close to a real-life incident, the one in Oklahoma City.
I think it demeans what happened out there to try and somehow make some kind of correlation between a piece of fiction and what happened to these innocent people. Sometimes art imitates life, and sometimes life imitates art.
While Willis wants you to remember it's just a movie, it is big business. The budget for this one was around $90 million. The actor's take, reportedly, $15 million. That allows him to enjoy the best of both worlds.
I get asked to do these big slobbering action films and also to do art films, and it keeps me happy because I I still like acting.
His acting lately has been drawing critical praise in films like Pulp Fiction and Nobody's Fool, starring Paul Newman. For that one, Willis didn't even bother with a screen credit.
Let's go back about before you hit it big in films and television. You were, well, I know, once a bartender.
Cafe Central used to work.
Is that what it was? Oh, okay. You come back to New York. Now you're this action hero that takes on the city of New York.
Yes.
Is that a kick? I mean, come back home?
Well, it's, you know, New York's my old school. I really feel like you know, I know this town inside out, and I love spending time here. I still very clearly remember walking around with less than $5 in my pocket in this town, and, you know, getting by then, and I'm getting by now. I'm doing all right.
Now there's an understatement. Bill Tush, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Jessica Lange.
Oscar winner Jessica Lange plays a wild and sexy wife in a new film called Blue Sky. It's the last work of director Tony Richardson, who died of AIDS after finishing it. Cynthia Tornquist sat down with Lange to talk about the film and the director and upcoming attractions.
Jessica Lange portrays Carly, a beautiful woman driven by an unbridled sensuality and need for attention. Set in 1962, Blue Sky is about Carly's love for her husband, played by Tommy Lee Jones, and how that love is put to the test when Jones falls victim to a military cover-up.
Technically, you would call her a manic depressive, so you have these tremendous swings, which are great to play. You know, you have the really high and the lows and everything in between.
Blue Sky marks the last feature film directed by Academy Award winner Tony Richardson. Richardson completed Blue Sky shortly before his death in 1991.
Tony Richardson was sick during the making of this film. What kind of a mood did that create on the set?
He was very strong still when we were shooting the film. You know, it wasn't something that everybody was conscious of when we were working. He still had tremendous energy and wit.
Lange won an Academy Award in 1983 for her comedic performance in Tootsie. That film was followed by dramatic roles, including Country, Crimes of the Heart, and Music Box. In 1992, she made her Broadway debut in Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire. When the play neared the end of its 6-month run, Lange was so tired that she told a reporter she might quit acting.
I think mostly I was just worn out. I was just worn out, and I needed time to get away from it and time to get excited about it again.
Lange says the hardest part of her job is the time it takes away from her family. When she's not working, she lives on a farm in Virginia with her longtime companion, playwright-actor Sam Shepard, and 3 children.
I think people are intrigued by the fact that all these years you've never married. Why not?
I mean, in my mind, I'm married. You know, I don't need to. I don't need the official words from some outside source to make it real to me.
In addition to Blue Sky, Lange has completed work on another film, Losing Isaiah, which she expects will be released next year. Cynthia Tornquist, CNN Entertainment News, New York.
Jim Carrey.
Stupid human tricks are Jim Carrey's specialty, and he gets to perform quite a few of them in his new movie, Dumb and Dumber. Sherry Sylvester found out how the comedian carried it off.
Jim Carrey is smart enough to have made $7 million for this movie, but Dumb and Dumber depends on his sheer stupidity for laughs. One suspects he last did some of this stuff around a campfire with his fellow 6th graders.
What kind of mindset does it take to be a leading man and light your farts and glue boogers to your nose on the screen?
Well, I don't know. I think it's self-hate. It's about, you know, messing with the medium, you know, and doing something that's never been seen before. Whether it's bathroom humor, if you're going to do bathroom humor, take it to the next level.
Before rocketing into the cinema stratosphere with his sophomoric shtick, Carrey did a bit part in The Deadpool with Clint Eastwood.
What a bastard.
And as a stand-up comic, he warmed up the crowd for Rodney Dangerfield.
My father would, like, come into the dressing room, and Rodney be going, you know, does anybody mind if I'm naked? You know, that kind of thing.
In Dumb and Dumber, he tags up with Jeff Daniels. As Lloyd and Harry, they cross the country to return a briefcase full of money to Lauren Holly. Carrey's character is infatuated with Holly's, and in real life, the couple is on again, off again.
When it comes to my personal life, it's like an inner ear problem, really. I'm a little off the beam from time to time. So it's difficult. I'm so busy now. It's just like, you know, it's a professional life and a little bit of a personal life, you know.
That professional life includes the role of the Riddler in the upcoming sequel, Batman Forever.
I'm really sworn to secrecy, but he looks something like this.
Carey's antics have been slow to catch on with critics who turned their thumbs down on his $100 million hit, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, which he followed with The Mask.
Does that bother you?
Well, not after the movie came out. You know, after the movie was a success, I went, well, give me some more of those bad reviews, please. You know, I was just like, you know, well, America made its own decisions.
And America will decide again this week whether it is up for a Dumb and Dumber Jim Carrey. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Meryl Streep.
Senator Dole may not approve of a movie in which a middle-aged Midwestern housewife has an adulterous affair with a photographer. But millions of readers love the book, The Bridges of Madison County, and made it a bestseller. And now critics are praising Clint Eastwood for his skillful adaptation of the novel. He stars with Meryl Streep in this romantic tale, which opens nationwide on Friday. Sherry Sylvester caught up with the stars far from the Iowa prairie in Los Angeles.
They were to meet in Iowa. Meryl Streep says she had only been introduced to Clint Eastwood once before at a party. She flew to Winterset with her youngest child, arriving at a local restaurant the night before shooting The Bridges of Madison County. Eastwood was late.
We were all supposed to be there at 7, and he walked in about 10. And my kid was going berserk. She's 3, you know. I said, hi, I'm Meryl, you know. I have brown hair. Maybe he thought I was blonde. He said, oh. And he said, well, that looks nice, but you're not going to do any big accent thing, are you? And believe me, I don't want to ever do another accent in my life because I get such attention for it.
Streep found her voice for Francesca Johnson, and Eastwood found a kinship with his character, Robert Kincaid.
He drives around a pickup truck. That's certainly more like me than a detective with a big 44 Magnum. I've never done that for real.
At 63, he became a late-in-life dad and achieved career highs he'd only dreamed of. Now at 65, the director of The Bridges of Madison County remains true to the original story of second chances and old-fashioned romance.
I think graphic sex sometimes can be detracting from the romance. You have a nice romance. I'd like to show it through the actors and the actors acting.
The book's toward love scenes are toned down.
He was really great about that because I hate doing those. I really do.
You don't think about it, it sort of set your mind for those things. You just kind of say, well, okay, this is going to look good for the scene, so it looks good for the scene. It's not quite as glamorous on a set.
He even set the mood by composing the film's love theme.
I think he's got exquisite taste.
Audience attraction is built in. Streep and Eastwood's on-screen coupling is one of the most anticipated pairings in recent history.
And hopes are high that the movie will share the same long life as the book, which is still on the bestseller list after 141 weeks. Sherry Sylvester, CNN, Los Angeles.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson is another contender for box office glory this summer. In It Takes a Brave Man to Wear a Kilt, and he does just that in Braveheart, the story of a 13th century Scottish warrior. Paul Verkaman reports Gibson is more than just the star of this film.
Mel Gibson goes off to war, back in time, and in a way back into childhood in Braveheart as the star and director.
Were you the type of guy as a youngster who turned that stick into a sword?
Absolutely, yeah. Garbage can lids, the whole bit. Rocks.
Gibson plays William Wallace, 13th century Scottish patriot in Braveheart, the script written by Randall Wallace.
It was kind of the full fulfillment of these childhood fantasies. In fact, it was the kind of film that I always wanted to see as a kid, and I never saw it. But I didn't know quite what it was, but I wanted to see it, and I almost saw it, and then I didn't. And then when I read Randy's script, I think that's the one I wanted to see.
A script and sweeping vision became Braveheart. William Wallace leading his outnumbered but not outsmarted Scots against the English forces.
He's a footnote in many cases, but sometimes you can find a whole book about it. And sometimes and there's legends, and there's a 300-foot monument in Stirling, and the Scots revere his name, and there's something to it. a combination that was made the character so interesting was the dichotomy between intelligence and really high ideals. Someone who could speak 3 or 4 languages and at the same time was capable of the most brutish savagery in battle.
Gibson's version of Wallace is a lover and a fighter, as seen through his courtship with Murin, played by newcomer Catherine McCormick. For Gibson, Wallace is an anomaly and an inspiration.
Those people pop up every now and then, and that is, it's quite sublime, it's divine. And if people can, and I think that's, most of us have an instinctive thing in us that want to reach for the sublime and the divine and something higher.
Gibson believes an elevating experience awaits moviegoers who see Braveheart. Oliver Kemp, CNN Entertainment News, Hollywood.
This is the end of Side A.